Stress is the great thief of your potential. It narrows your mind, suffocates your vision, and convinces you that the walls are closing in when the truth is simple. The walls were never real. The prison was built in your thoughts long before it ever appeared in your life. And if you created it, you can destroy it. Right here, right now. The world has convinced you that panic is normal, that overwhelm is a sign of responsibility, that pressure is the price you pay to survive. But that's a lie built on fear, not fact. You were not born to tremble. You were born with the same raw, unfiltered power that pushed Edison through 10,000 failures, that kept Lincoln standing after every defeat, that carried Carnegie from nothing to an empire. They didn't rise because life was gentle. They rose because they refused to let stress become their compass. Your mind is the battlefield. And every time stress whispers, "Stop," you have a choice. Surrender or step forward. Most people surrender. Most people fold. Most people break long before the world ever tests them. And that's exactly why you can't afford to be most people. Your life doesn't need another excuse. It needs a decision to take command of the only territory you truly own, your thoughts. Every achievement you admire, every invention, every breakthrough, every triumph, started in a mind trained to see possibilities where others saw chaos. Henry Ford wasn't born with clarity. He carved it out of rejection, skepticism, and the sound of his own doubts screaming at him. Walt Disney wasn't handed vision. He forged it while bankrupt, ridiculed, and fired for lack of creativity. Stress didn't stop them. Stress refined them. And that's your turning point. The realization that stress isn't your enemy unless you let it be. It's a signal, a demand for clarity, a reminder that something inside you is unfinished, undefined, or unclaimed. The moment you understand that, stress loses its claws. It becomes fuel, raw material you can shape into direction, into purpose, into a mindset sharp enough to cut through every excuse you've ever tolerated. Because mindset is not soft philosophy. It is the architecture of your reality. If your thoughts are chaotic, your life will mirror it. If your beliefs are weak, so will be your actions. You can work like a machine and still stay stuck if your mind is poisoned with doubt, fear, and franticness. And that's exactly why mastering your thoughts is non-negotiable. A disciplined mind becomes your shield. A clear mind becomes your compass. A strong mind becomes your weapon. And a calm mind becomes your advantage. Not the fake calm that pretends nothing is wrong. The real calm built on inner structure, purpose, and unshakable conviction. The calm that says, "I know where I'm going, and I refuse to be moved." Belief is where that calm begins. Not blind optimism. Not wishful thinking. Belief forged through proof. The proof that every challenge you've ever faced, you've already survived. You've endured disappointment that should have broken you. You've stood up after moments that would have kept somebody else on the floor. There is a record of your resilience written across your entire life, but you ignore it because stress distorts the truth. It convinces you that the future is heavier than the past. But it isn't. You've lifted more weight than you give yourself credit for. And that's exactly why belief matters, because your brain obeys the stories you repeat. If you tell yourself you're drowning, you'll feel the water rise even in a dry room. But if you anchor yourself in belief, in the unwavering certainty that you can adapt, endure, and overcome, stress loses its authority. It becomes noise instead of a verdict. Clarity is the next blade in your arsenal. Most stress doesn't come from what you're doing. It comes from not knowing why. A weak purpose turns every step into friction. But a defined purpose turns friction into momentum. It gives you direction that cuts through uncertainty like a torch in a cave. And once you have direction, the mind stops panicking because panic grows in the dark. Vision destroys the dark. Purpose isn't found by sitting and hoping. It's built by asking brutal questions and giving yourself honest answers. What do you actually want? What are you done tolerating? What life are you refusing to settle for? These aren't soft questions. They are chisels designed to carve away the nonsense until the truth stands alone. And once you know your truth, stress cannot dominate you. Stress becomes manageable, predictable, powerless. Because the moment clarity enters, chaos dies. And discipline becomes the bridge between your clarity and your reality. Discipline is the quiet force behind every empire. It's the unglamorous muscle behind every success you admire. Edison had discipline. Ford had discipline. Disney had discipline. None of them were gifted with perfect conditions. They built their future with consistency that outlasted their frustration. They showed up when it was inconvenient. They worked when motivation disappeared. They acted when their emotions begged for escape. And that's the truth you need to swallow. Discipline doesn't care about your stress, your mood, or your excuses. It cares about your commitment.